back rashes against the ropes, go ahead and do that. Either way, I'm coming forward, and I'm coming to fight. I do it smart, strategically, and I break my opponents down from round to round until they can't breathe anymore and they start sinking. So I'm taking my opponent into deep water, and I'm excited. I've been ready for a while. It's been 5 months in the making. So every day that I gotta wait, it's just more and more fire getting built, and I just can't wait till fight time.
One more question for Abel Ramos, then I'll turn it over to the media for questions. Abel, when he says, hey, you better be ready for a phone booth fight, I can't wait. He says he's going to be on you like glue. What's your response to that, Abel?
That's right up my alley, man. That's what I want. That's what I like, and it's going to be great, man. It's going to be great for the fans.
All right, at this time, I'm going to turn it over to one of our moderators. I want to congratulate him on being named the vice president of Swanson Communications. Been working very hard throughout many, many years. Andrew Roberts, raise your hand and ask your question. Mention your media outlet and then come out with your question for both Abel Ramos and Cody Crowley. Andrew, it's all yours, my man.
Thanks very much, Ray. I appreciate it. Our first question is going to come from Keith Idek with Boxing Scene. Keith, please unmute yourself. And you can ask your questions.
My first question is thanks, Andrew. My first question is for Abel Ramos. Abel, I know it's been a while since you fought now. I was just wondering what your perspective was on the scoring of your fight against Luke Santamaria, because it seemed like a different fight somewhat than the scorecards read. I just wonder what your perspective on that is.
Yeah, man, I thought I had won the fight. Of course, I thought I had done enough to win the fight. But, I mean, the judges saw it another way, I guess, man. And it is what it is, Now we have a undefeated fighter in front of us, and that's what we're focused on.
Cody's a tough guy to fight. He's obviously proved himself here in the last 2 fights that he's won. In particular, tell me what type of fight you're expecting from him next month.
I'm expecting a tough fight, man. He likes to come forward. He likes to put a lot of pressure. And as you heard him right now, he said he wants to meet in the middle of the ring and fight. So let's do it.
Great. Thank you, Abel. Cody, I just wanted to ask you as well. And I believe this fight is a WBC eliminator.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you win your closer to a title shot. What does that mean to you to have this opportunity? Because I know you took a long road to get where you are now, fighting in Canada and obscurity and everything.
Yeah, I've definitely took a long journey, but it needed to happen in order for me to be in the position that I am in today. And getting this win on March 25th is going to put me in a position that nobody can take away what I've worked so hard for and earned. And that is a world title opportunity. So after March 25th, I'm just going to be seated in my seat, very happy, because this has been a decade in the making as a professional. I've waited a very long time for this opportunity, but I'm not looking past March 25th. So Abel, you better be ready, because I'm coming to hunt you down, and I hope you're doing the same thing. I love to get in there and fight. So I thank him. Hats off to him for taking the opportunity, for coming into fire, because that's exactly what he's stepping into, and he knows it. I can see it in the look in his eyes, and I'm just ready to fight. I'm excited. This is what I love to do. I'm like a crack addict with fighting.
Okay. Cody, I just want one other question for you. You obviously fought a lot of high-level guys, a very good, quality welterweight here. Do you view him as your toughest? I know Abdukakarov was undefeated when you fought him. Do you view Abel as your toughest opponent, or how do you look at it?
Of course. He's the only man standing in front of me right now. Every opponent that I face and come up against is my toughest opponent. Nobody else exists except the person in front of me. So right now, Abel Ramos is the most deadliest opponent that I have in front of me. So I'm sharp. I'm collective. I am very, very eager to take on the obstacle that's in front of me. It doesn't matter if it's an obstacle on its way out the door or a fresh, hungry one. I'm going to treat them the exact same way. And I'm pretty sure Abel's going to find out real soon.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thanks very much, Keith. Our next question is going to come from Jose Romero with the Arizona Republic. Jose, please unmute yourself and you can ask your questions.
All right. Hey, Abel, how you doing, man? Good to see you.
How you doing, bro?
Good. Man, you've had some pretty big fights against a lot of really good fighters. I mean, you've been in this game for a long time. What gets you ready for every fight, and what makes you a difficult fighter to match up against?
I think it's just that fighter inside of me, man, that I'm always competitive. I'm always fired up to take on a new challenge. And that's what's kept me motivated throughout this years in boxing.
Do you ever look back at how long you've been in this game, man? I mean, it's like you still look great shape and everything, and it's been a long career. Do you ever just kind of look back on that and say, man, I've been in this game a long time. I'm pretty proud of that.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course, I've seen all the fighters that I've fought, every challenge that I've taken, and I take it all in, man, and just it just motivates me more, man, to accomplish my dream to be a world champion, and I'm not going to stop until I get it.
Okay, last one. A lot of fights with AZ guys in it. Once again, man. I mean, you've been in Vegas with a lot of Arizona fighters. This is another chance for the state, right?
Yeah, of course, man. We're gonna put Arizona. We're gonna give it honor that night, and yeah, man, it's gonna be great.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jose. Our next question is going to come from Felipe Corral. Felipe, please say what outlet you're with, and you can ask your questions.
Sí, una preguntita en español, Abel. Ayer te visitamos en el campo de entrenamiento. ¿Qué opinas? O sea, tu rival en turno está decidido a la guerra y tú tienes el compromiso de venir, de no poder ganar dos de tus últimas 3 peleas. ¿Ir a la guerra desde un principio, que es lo que está diciendo tu rival, o tomar las cosas con calma considerando los resultados de tus últimos 3 combates?
Pues estamos listos para la guerra. Si quiere guerra, eso le vamos a dar. Estamos preparados para todo, para lo que se venga, para hacer la meta aquí es ganar y a ganar a como sea el lugar.
¿Te intimida? Porque me parece que es el primero.
Felipe, real quick, were you able to translate what he asked you and then what you said in English for the members of the media that don't speak Spanish, please? Abel, did you hear me?
What's that?
Are you able to please translate what Felipe asked you and then your response also translated into English for the media that don't speak Spanish, please?
Yeah, he asked me that he asked me to. Wow, I forgot the question. I forgot.
Que si estabas dispuesto a irte a la guerra.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. He asked me that Cody was saying that he's willing to go to war, and asked me what my response was to that, and I told him that I'm ready for war too, man. I'm ready to get in there and fight and get the win at whatever cost.
Great, thank you very much. Felipe, did you have another question?
Yeah, yes. Bien, ¿te intimida así o te cambia el plan después de ver su reacción o después de estudiar a tu rival? ¿Cambia tu plan de pelea o a lo que presente él te vas a ir?
No, claro que no me intimida. Yo soy un veterano del deporte y he peleado con los mejores, y lo que traiga vamos a hacer el ajuste para llevarnos la victoria.
Gracias.
And then are you able to do that once again? Abel, could you please translate both?
Yeah, he said that if I'm intimidated about the plan of going in there and fighting, and I told him I'm not, man. I'm a veteran of the sport. I fought every fighter, and I go in there to win and make the adjustments.
Great, thank you very much, and thank you for those questions, Felipe. Our next question is going to come from Lucas Cattell with Inside the Ropes. Lucas, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Okay, my first question is for Cody. You obviously speak to you like fighting. Can you speak to the activity of your division and also how active you'd like to be if everything goes well?
Yeah, of course. The more active I am, the better I am. The more you fight, the better you are at fighting. I'm not a type of guy that wants to fight once a year. I'm the type of guy that wants to fight every other month if possible. Every quarter should be minimum that we're fighting. So hopefully Hopefully things start moving along a little bit more quicker. So we don't have these big delays. Ever since COVID happened, it's just been a complete shit show. Fighting once a year. These fighters are busting their butt in the gym every single day. But you know, we only get paid when we're under the lights. So I'd like to be paid for the work that I put in. I'd like to be compensated, and I would like to become one of the greatest in the world. The only way to do that is to do it under the lights. So after this fight, you know, I should be fighting again in the summertime for a world title, and I should have my first defense by the end of the year. That's minimal. I'm a 4 times a year fighter. Not too many world champions are doing that anymore. So I'm really looking forward to getting in that position, holding a world title, and then becoming a household name, because I love to fight. I bring the fight, and you can count on Cody Crowley coming to fight every single quarter.
And then for Abel, obviously your family member, Jesús Ramos, is fighting on the card. Can you speak on having family on the card? And also, just to consolidate both of my questions, at times you've gotten yourself into firefights that maybe have worked against you. Are you going to be aware of that with Cody talking about wanting to bring it and be in your face? Are you going to make any adjustments in this fight possibly to change maybe the past?
We're ready to do whatever it takes to win, man. That's our goal right now. If it's getting into a brawl, then let's brawl. If it's being more smart in the ring, that's what I'm gonna do, man. Right now, the priority is to get the win.
All right, thanks very much for that, Lucas, and thank you to both Abel and to Cody. With that, I'm going to turn it back over to Ray for us to wrap things up with this pairing before we move on to our next group.
All right, quickly, I want to get final thoughts. I'll start off with Abel Ramos, as you are just over a month away until you step inside the ring against Cody Crowley live on Showtime pay-per-view, the undercard of David Benavidez, Plant.
Yeah, man. Just want to give a shout out to all the fans. Everybody's going to be attending the fight. They're going to get their money's worth, man. This is an exciting fight card. I'm ready to put on a show for everybody.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Abel. Cody, your final thoughts as we are just over a month away.
You know me, man. I'm always excited. I can't wait to see you again when I'm up on the stage weighing in. Then we know it's actually here. I still got a month of work to do. There's a lot of work to do. But I'm very excited. Also, you know, I'm dedicating this fight in my dad's name, my dad's honor. He took his own life about 6 months ago, and this is who I'm fighting for right now. And during this fight, I'm hosting a fundraiser right now for suicide awareness. I partnered up with the WBC outreach program, WBC Cares, and a suicide awareness group, Team 55 in Ontario, Canada. And I'm raising $55,000 in a raffle and sending two people free plane tickets, free hotel rooms, and 2 floor tickets to my fight to watch one of the best cards that PBC is putting on this year. So it's a hell of a prize. The WBC is donating Roberto Duran signed gloves, Chavez signed gloves, and a couple other prizes. And all this money that gets raised goes to an organization where when someone is having mental health problems, they can go to ask for a therapist. Maybe their insurance doesn't cover it. Team 55 will go and pay for therapy. They'll pay for different healing modalities that can help that person who's suffering exert some of that pain that's stuck inside of them and that sadness and that grief. So it's a beautiful thing that we're doing, and we are raising awareness. And at the same time, we're giving somebody a beautiful opportunity that they probably never had or might not get to again, which is attend a world-class boxing event in the MGM Garden in Las Vegas, Nevada, all paid for. So it's a win-win, and I think my dad would be very proud.
Can I say something?
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
I'm definitely my next fight. You know, every fight I dedicate my fights to causes and awarenesses. My next fight, I'm doing suicide prevention too, in yellow. So let me get down with you. Let me throw in a pair of signed gloves too, and donate some money to that to the thing.
I appreciate that, brother. Let's connect on Instagram or something.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's link that up.
Yes, sir.
Terrific. Well, Cody, our thoughts and prayers go out to you and your entire family on the passing of your father. But I know you are very much fighting in his memory, a wonderful cause. So you heard what Cody said. Make sure to donate if you can to that wonderful cause. Cody and Abel, thank you guys so much. Good luck. We'll see you in about a month's time in Las Vegas.
See you guys. I'll see you, Abel.
All right.
I'll see you.
Gotta love it. Cody Crowley, Abel Ramos, what? And that's leading off the pay-per-view. Then we get now to the lightweight division. Two guys who are exciting fighters in their own way, own unique way, stylistically and personally. Want to talk with a man who was born in Los Mochis, Sinaloa, Mexico, now training in the Seattle area alongside David Benavidez, who's going to be in the main event against Caleb Plant in the super middleweight division. Trains under the guidance of Jose Benavidez Sr., just 22 years of age, had an absolute barn burner in a loss at the hands of Edwin De Los Santos at Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles back in September. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with a record of 12 wins, 1 loss, 8 wins coming by way of knockout, Jose Rayo Valenzuela. Jose, how are you?
What's up, man? I'm doing good. Very excited to come back March 25th on such a big undercard, such a big card itself, against a great fighter like Chris Colbert. I'm extremely ready. I'm prepared. I'm focused and ready to put on the show.
Well, we are very much looking forward to that matchup. Let's talk with your opponent on Saturday, March 25th. 16 wins, 1 loss, 6 wins coming by way of knockout, proudly representing Brooklyn, New York, turned pro back in 2015, has impressive W's over the likes of Jezreel Corrales, Jaime Arboleda, Tuxtu Nyambayar, making his lightweight debut after coming up short in his last matchup at 130 to world champion Hector Luis Garcia back in February of last year. He will be back inside the ring for the first time in over a year. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the ring, making his debut at 135, Chris Primetime Colbert. Chris, we've missed you, man. How's everything?
Shit, I miss y'all too, man. I miss the ring, man. I'm ready to get back. I'm ready to do what I do best and do what I love, which is the sport of boxing. And come March 25th, I'm coming to put on a show.
Chris, for you, you've been away from the ring for over a year. Now, was that done? Now, was that done based on the fact that you wanted to go ahead and, heal up some injuries? I know guys are constantly, I don't think a fighter's truly ever healthy when they step into a prize fight. But was that by design? Was it based on the fact that you wanted to go ahead and, I know you have a lot of different businesses. Why the year layoff?
To be honest, I more so the year layoff was just to get my mind right, because I'm coming off my first loss. I haven't lost in over a decade. That's a long time. I'm talking about pro and amateur. I haven't lost in over a decade. So it's just damn, that shit hard. When you really live for what you do and love what you do, that shit is no joke. I'm not one of them. I'm not accustomed to losing. Never, and nothing that I did, I ever made myself accustomed to losing. When I played football, if my team was losing too much, I leave the team and go play for another team because I'm not accustomed to losing. So me taking that year layoff was just damn, I got so much to think about. Damn, I was just how did I even lose to that? Not to say he's a bad fighter, but how did I lose to him? It's I'm him, and then I just had to get some things together on my side, family wise and just life wise. But the year layoff was a gift to me, to be honest, because I really needed that. I haven't took off a year in a long time. I've been fighting back to back to back for a while, so that year layoff was good. I feel good. My body feels good. I'm ready to get rocking.
Well, you mentioned about your body feeling good. What is it like now fighting at 135? Does that extra 5 pounds really make a significant difference? Do you feel like you had almost reached your plateau prior to your last fight at 130?
130. I'm going back down to 130, but this fight, I've been on for a year. I'm not trying to kill my body off making a 130-pound weight division. And then I know me coming back at 130, they wasn't gonna give me nobody that's going the names that was offered wasn't some top names that I could be like, oh yeah, this making the spark, bringing the spark back in me. And when I said if I go up to 135, there's a lot of people that call my name. Rayo called my name before on TV, so I think I got to give an early Christmas present to him. And you want to know what's crazy? I like him too. I don't got no problem with him. I never really got problems with fighters, but you know, a lot of fighters don't like me. But I really like him as a fighter. But I'm coming to win. I'm coming to dominate and do what I do best. So come March 25th, that's what you're gonna see. You definitely gonna see fireworks because I know he's coming with his best. I know he's coming off of his first loss as well, and I know he's hungry. But I just don't think he's gonna eat enough on March 25th. I ain't giving it.
Jose, so Chris took a year off from his last loss. You lost in September. You're running right back against a guy that is not necessarily the easiest to deal with in the ring, as Chris has a very unique style and, you know, boxer puncher. Why did you decide to come back and you could have fought a guy of lesser opposition. Instead, you're getting in there against a former world champion in Chris Colbert.
And I respect him.
Well, you know, he said it was his first loss. It was my first loss too, but I knew what my mistakes were. You know, I know why I took the loss, and you know, I knew how I felt during the fight. So it was just really matter of me getting my shit together, you know, biting down and staying focused. And you know, that's what I did this training camp. You know, it's been a very serious training camp. You know, David doesn't like Caleb Plant, so everybody's fully locked in. I'm fully locked in. So it's just perfect atmosphere for me to come back. So
wait, you say you know why you lost. So you don't think I know why I lost?
Well, I mean, you took a year to get right and do all that. You know.
Yeah, but it's not in this sport. It's not about you could get hit or.
Well, whatever reason
it's about being more smarter. Like I had enough time. I got enough time. Like I was supposed to been back. Supposed to fight Frank Martin. We all know this, right? So I was supposed to fight Frank Martin. Frank Martin was doing this Instagram talking thing, and Al gave me one date, but Errol Spence gave him a date. I'm not gonna push my date up for no other fighter because I'm not no opponent. I never been.
Yeah.
I'm not pushing my date up to another date to fight somebody just because they want to fight. I called you out. You didn't call me out. So if you feel like you're the big dog, which I still know I'm a big dog, I'm not rushing myself to get in shape to fight nobody. It's not happening. Al Hamas gave me a date, and I'm gonna stick to my date.
Well, whatever reason, you know, whatever reason he got for coming back, you know, I got my reasons, and I'll be ready March 25th, you know, to put on a hell of a show and get my hand raised.
All right, Andrew Roberts, I'm going to turn it over to you. If the media has questions, raise your hand, and then when they call upon you, unmute yourself and ask your questions to both Chris Colbert and also Jose Valenzuela. Andrew?
Thanks, Ray. Our first question is going to come from Keith Eidick. Keith, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Thanks, Andrew. My first question is for Jose. Jose, you mentioned that you know why you lost. Can you explain to us what went wrong in the fight, why you think you lost for the first time?
I just feel like it was a lot of reasons, but the main reason I guess I can put it, I was just rushing a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? Not taking my time, not, you know, just going through the days, you know, but now, you know, I'm reflecting every day on everything I'm doing, looking over everything I'm doing and just looking at every detail. You know, I was just doing things too fast and, you know, just built up a lot of mistakes and it showed my last fight.
And you hurt him in the fight too. Do you think maybe you got a little too over anxious there after you hurt him? Or?
Yeah. You know, that just all comes with the game plan, you know, that I didn't, you know, I wasn't going over probably in my head, you know, last minute opponent. I should have been more, you know, focused and dedicated on the game plan. But, you know, all that will be fixed March 25th and, you know, I will be victorious.
One last thing for you, Jose. I know that Chris Colbert is obviously a very difficult opponent, but how much would you want to fight De Los Santos again at some point?
I got to give my full attention to Chris Colbert. You know,
see, I respect him.
He's a hell of a fighter.
Don't look past me.
He's a hell of a fighter. You know, I like his style too. I've been watching him for a bit, you know, and it's going to be a hell of a fight, you know. After I beat him March 25th, we can talk about the future.
Okay, thank you. I have a question for Chris. Chris, obviously, you know, you're very successful at 130. Do you feel, though, you beat Jose on March 25th? I know you might feel more comfortable at 130, but might you stay at 135 because there would be opportunities there for you in that weight class?
Nah, man, I got to go back down and get my belt, man. I got to get what's mine, it's rightfully mine, and that's to beat up on, what's his name again?
Hector Luis Garcia.
Yeah, Hector Luis Garcia. I got to beat up on that guy first, and then I could come up and fight at 135. Right now, I just, you know what it is? I feel like I had something to prove coming back, making my comeback. I got something to prove, and the only way to do it is to go up at 135 and beat up somebody that's people got a lot of potential for.
Chris,
which I think is a great fighter. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And Chris, he's a big kid and a puncher and everything. Was this proposed to you, or was it something that you went and asked for?
No, this fight, they proposed. I went for the Frank Martin fight, but the Frank Martin fight fell through, didn't fall through. So I said, all right, bring me somebody else that got a big name. Like let's get somebody else that got a big name that's gonna come and bring a fight to make the world be like, oh nah, this guy Colbert is not. He ain't playing. I don't like swimming with fishes. I like swimming with sharks. So that's what I'm coming to do on March 25th, swim with sharks and try to swim and don't get wet.
Just one last thing for you, Chris. You mentioned fighting Hector Luis Garcia again. And of course, this is a very difficult fight you have coming up next month. But that's something you see later in the year for you, going back down and trying to get you.
Yeah, but right now my main focus is just on Rayo. I know I got a big puncher in front of me, but that's life. You know how many roadblocks we done go through in life? I'm pretty sure he went through a lot. I went through a lot. So just being a big puncher ain't going to be enough to come beat me. You got to bring your best, which I know he's going to do.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you, Keith. Our next question is going to come from Marcus Hayes with FightHype TV. Marcus, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. How you guys doing? Marcus Hayes with FightHype. What's up, Chris? What's up, Rayo?
What's up, my
Marcus
guy?
Hayes, I'm gonna start off with you first, Chris. Marcus Hayes with FightHype TV here. Chris, your last fight, we saw you go down for the first time. We never seen you on the canvas. You talked about kind of finding yourself after your loss. What did you find inside of yourself after losing the way that you did? What did you see when you looked deep inside?
You want to know what's crazy? It's not about me finding myself. I already know who I am. I know who I am. I know who I was born to be. I know who I am going to be. And I'm him. Him.com. Ain't no questions about that, who I am. I'm him. But I just know I be getting a little beside myself sometimes because with my resume, who you know in the game that got a better resume with me, 16 fights. I was doing it big. I was making a lot of money. And so I just think I got a little caught up with the limelight of who I became, like, I guess you could say. So I just had to settle myself down and sit myself down and tell myself, like, I'm out here, I'm bugging out, like I'm walking around like excuse my language, like I'm a regular guy, but I'm that nigga. And I just got to continue to do what I do to go out there and show it. And come March 25th, that's when we're going to start the new chapter.
And this question is also for Rayo. Rayo, I want to ask you, Rayo, a lot of fighters, when they take their first loss, especially losing by a KO defeat, they cut and run from their coaches. They leave their people behind. They make excuses. They blame people. I spoke with you at the Caleb Plant, David Benavidez presser. You were the polar opposite. Tell me about your relationship with Mr. Benavidez and how he's guided you through the dark spot that you ran into in your career.
Well, you know, Senior, he's a very honest man. You know, I'm very honest myself, and you know, we don't lie to each other. We don't point fingers. You know, I took responsibility. You know, and that was that. And it was just time to take responsibility, grow up, be a man, and you know, continue doing what I love to do.
All right, great. Thanks very much, Marcus. Our next question is going to come from Jose Romero with Arizona Republic. Jose, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Hey, this question is for Jose. Just want to ask you, you were talking about kind of maybe feeding off the energy a little bit of David Benavidez's dislike for Caleb Plant. You know, what's that like? What's training like with the family there, the Benavidez family? And, you know, are you feeling that? Are you feeling, you know, just how much those two guys want to get after it?
Definitely. You know, the energy is very high in the gym. You know, every day since this camp started has been electric. So, you know, I've just been feeding off it. it's not no beef with me and Chris Colbert. I like Chris Colbert too, but this is personal with myself, and I gotta do this for me and my family too. A promise I made a long time ago, and I'm gonna continue to go that route.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks very much, Jose. With that, I'm going to turn it back over to Ray, get closing comments from Chris and Jose before we move on to our final pairing.
All right. Thank you very much, Andrew. And yes, I want to go ahead and start off with Jose Valenzuela. Jose, I know you're very focused. You're locked in for your matchup coming up in just over a month, training in Seattle alongside David Benavidez. You have Jose Benavidez Sr., who's going to be very busy that very evening, Saturday, March 25th on Showtime pay-per-view with David Benavidez and also yourself. But, your final thoughts as you really dive into the heart of training camp here over the next 30 days.
I'm just very excited, man. I just want to give thanks to all my fans, to Al Heyman for his opportunity, to Chris Colbert, to Showtime, and want everybody to be ready for a hell of a night of boxing.
All right, Chris, as we are just over a month away, you return to the ring. I know you missed the lights. I know you missed the fans. Hey, Las Vegas isn't a bad way to come back.
No, no, believe it or not, I really hate Las Vegas. I always hated Las Vegas. I said this before my last fight. I was saying this for a long time. Every time I go to Vegas, it's a bad experience. Never went to Vegas, had a good experience. Even when I won in Vegas, I caught the flu before a fight. I got kicked out of a hotel before, because I was gambling. My birthday is at 12. It's 11. My birthday's at 12. I could gamble an hour. Like, they would kick me out. Like, it's just always been bad experiences. But I always said to myself, I want to fight at least one time in the MGM Grand. And come March 25th is the day. And they got to stop with this. Oh, because he trained with Benavidez shit. I don't give a fuck who he trained with. Get a man credit. He's a fighter. He didn't get here because of who he trained with. He got here because of himself. Because he worked hard and he beat who he beat. So me personally, I don't give a fuck who you train with. You can train with Mike Tyson. Like, that's still gonna be the same outcome. We're gonna go in there and fight. Benavidez can't fight for him. His pops can't fight for him. And I like all of them. But they can't fight for him. He got to go in there and fight himself against a bad, dangerous young man, and that's myself. Like, so March 25th, they better just be prepared. I don't care what he coming with. If he come in a bang, he come in a box, whatever he coming with, I'm ready. Y'all know how I do. I'm ready.
All right, Chris, Jose, greatly appreciate it. Good luck, guys. We'll see you during Fight Week in Las Vegas.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
All right. Well, I got to say that I've always had great experiences in Las Vegas. I love the MGM Grand Garden Arena. It's one of my favorite venues on the planet for boxing, and Chris Colbert and Jose Valenzuela are going to put on a show. Speaking of putting on a show, our co-main event, very rarely do you see these kind of fights, and I'm really of the belief that we're going to start to see these kind of fights more. What am I talking about? I'm talking about two guys in their early 20s who have undefeated records, who are putting it all on the line in a very much a significant fight in the super welterweight division. I'm going to start off with a young man who has a record of 16 wins, no losses, 10 wins coming by way of knockout, 22 years of age, from Linden, Michigan, has really been on a roll since turning pro back in February of 2018. Most recently got his biggest win to date, a very convincing decision victory over the previously undefeated Kevin Salgado. I want to welcome, I've known him for a long time, him and his entire team and his family, really just an upstanding person and also a terrific fighter. Please welcome Joey Spencer. Joey, how are you?
Doing good. Glad to be here. Good to see you. And I'm excited to talk. I'm excited to fight March 25th.
Joey, your last fight was the biggest test of your career, but now here you go again, making another step up in competition. What is your philosophy and your thought process as you're over a month away from your second massive fight?
I'm just enjoying every minute of this process. What excites me about this fight is that people are excited about it. And growing up, being a boxing fan since I was, 8 years old, and watching fights with my dad. And I remember, when I was growing up, it was like the young guys were like the Andre Berto and, Victor Ortiz and different guys like that to me, I looked up to, but they were just young guys who were still proving themselves. And those fights in their career were significant when they start fighting those big fights for the first time. And I just remember watching those fights. And so it excites me to be a part of, maybe the first fight in our careers that are going to have significant meaning going forward for the rest of our careers. And people are excited about it. I love the sport of boxing. So it makes me happy that, we're putting on a fight that people are looking forward to, a part of a card that people are looking forward to so much. So it's really just a dream come true. Something that we've worked for a long time. I'm sure Jesús can, agree that, fighting in the MGM Grand as a co-main event is a real honor. So, I'm enjoying the process.
All right, let's meet the opponent that you're going to be standing across the ring from on Saturday, March 25th on Showtime pay-per-view, an event promoted by Premier Boxing Champions, or presented by Premier Boxing Champions, promoted by TGB Promotions and Samson Boxing. 19 wins, no losses, 15 wins coming by way of knockout. It's crazy to think that I've known this young man for many years, and he's only 21 years of age. He happens to be the nephew of Abel Ramos, who will be taking on Cody Crowley. He stopped 6 of his last 9 opponents, most recently dominated Luke Santamaria in May of last year via unanimous decision. Please welcome the always entertaining Jesús Mono Ramos. Jesús, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. How are you, man?
We're doing wonderful. Really pumped to see you back inside the ring against Joey Spencer.
Thank you, man. Yeah, me too. I'm excited to be here. It's gonna be a great card, like Joey Spencer said. It's a huge night, and it's a dream come true to fight at the MGM. And as a co-main event now, that it's huge. I'm preparing myself to be the best that night, as I'm sure Joey is as well. So hopefully it's a good show for you guys. And like he said, this fight's gonna. I think it's gonna leave a mark in both of our careers. When people talk about us, they're gonna come back and remember this fight, and that's huge. And I want to thank him for taking this fight. This is not something, like you said, that many guys our age are doing. Taking these type of challenges. So yeah, man. I'm excited about this.
Well, I want to commend you both for taking this fight, because both of you guys, because you are so young, could have avoided an opponent like this. But instead, I felt like neither one of you guys shied away from it. I think both of you guys said, yeah, we absolutely wanted. Joey, I'll start with you. Is that what's going through your mind when you got the call about this fight?
Yeah, actually, it went the other way. I actually asked for this fight particularly. And I want to say the same thing to Jesús about just the fact that you don't see these fights in boxing often for a reason. There's a specific reason for that. And a lot of times people hide behind promoters and say, you know what, that's not what my promoter wants and this and that. But, this fight is proof that if two guys want to get in at any stage in their career, even if it doesn't necessarily make, follow the specific script that boxing usually follows, you can make a fight that's outside of the box that people don't usually see. And so I love this fight. This is the fight that I wanted because he's high in the rankings and he's had great performances, and people, really admire his boxing and what he's done so far. We're both young, and I think it's a hot fight for the division, and it's really just it's a perfect fight to see who's ready to go to that next level. And that's the type of fight that I want. So yeah, props to Jesús, and we're going to make a great fight, and I think we're going to steal the show. I mean, Caleb and Benavidez is going to be a great fight, but I think that this fight is going to be right up there, as one of the showstoppers on March 25th.
Jesús, one more question for you, then I'll turn it over to the media for questions. But the fact that Joey said he called you out, he wanted this fight. When they approached you, the Premier Boxing Champions press about, hey, Joey Spencer wants this fight to take, to go up against you. What was your response? Did it surprise you? Were you more excited? I mean, what was, in the mind of Jesús Ramos at that moment when they gave you the call and said, hey, there's a possible fight out there with Joey Spencer. He wants it. Do you want it?
Yeah, it was surprising because the fact that how he said that prospect nowadays, they don't look for fights like these. They go the other routes, and they look for different fights and not between two undefeated fighters. So I was surprised, but at the same time excited because I knew what kind of fight this would be, and I was just excited about the possibilities, man. I knew that me fighting him was going to be big, and it is big, co-main event at the MGM on a huge card. So, that's exactly what I imagined, something as big as this. And yeah, man, it was great news. It was something huge, and we've been preparing ever since we got those news.
Outstanding. Now I'm going to turn it over to Andrew Roberts. If you have questions from the medium, make sure to go ahead, raise your hand, and then when Andrew calls upon you, unmute yourself, mention your affiliate, and then also ask your question to both Jesús Ramos and Joey Spencer. Andrew?
Thanks, Ray. Our first questions will come from Keith Idek with Boxing Scene. Keith, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Thanks, Andrew. My first question is for Joey. Joey, congratulations on your last win. I know it was a big one for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What do you think you showed people in that fight? Because you won that fight very decisively. He was an undefeated fighter going in. So what do you think you showed people?
I think I showed people a little bit. I think I've got a lot more to show. And that was just a small piece of it. Every fight you gain more and more experience. So I was happy with the rounds. I was happy with the performance. But at the same time, there's been a lot added to my game since then, and a lot that I saw in that fight. I'm like, okay, I need to show more, and that's what we focused on and what I focused on in this training camp. So I was happy with it from the standpoint. It's always good to go out there and get a dominant win, but I'm my own worst critic too. So there's more that I could do. So I'd say I was happy and unhappy, but it was still good to go out there and get the win.
Joey, that was obviously a step up in opposition for you. This is as well. I would assume you feel that way. How much of a step up do you feel this is against Jesús, who's a highly regarded fighter?
Yeah, I think it's the right step up. I think it's definitely a step up, but I think it's the right step up. And I'm just happy with it. Not to repeat ourselves over and over again, but most of the time, a step up for a guy like me or Jesús would be to fight somebody that maybe is over the hill and maybe is, pretty much done with their career, but has a big name. And you see that happen a lot. And, that's usually the normal way you go about it. But this time, I'm taking a step up against a guy who's fresh, young, hungry. And, that's just a very motivating situation for me. It gets me excited. It fuels the fire that I have inside me, almost too much to contain. So, I'm excited. I think it's definitely a step up, and I think it's the right one.
Thank you, Joey. And Jesús, what did you think of Joey's performance against Kevin Salgado and how he looked in that fight?
It looked good, man. It was a good performance. It looked good. I saw some things that he was doing good. And and I don't expect him to be the same fighter because, I myself have stepped up like that. And like he said, you go back and then you watch and you make a lot of improvements. So I don't expect him to be the same fighter that he was that night. But like I said, he did a lot of good things in there. And we're ready for him.
Just have one other question for you. I know you avenged your uncle's loss in your last fight, but your uncle's obviously got a tough fight on the undercard as well. Can you tell me about his fight against Cody Crowley and what you're looking to see from that?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good fight. We've been studying Joey Spencer. We've been studying Cody Crowley as well. I like to watch his opponents as well. And we've seen a lot of mistakes that Cody Crowley makes in there that I feel like my uncle can capitalize on. And I feel like my uncle has a lot of experience, a lot more than Cody Crowley's. But I think it's going to be an entertaining fight.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thanks, Keith. Our next question is going to come from Daniel Gagwin with La Casaca Boxing Club. Daniel, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Hello. My name is Daniel from Argentina. I want to ask Joy. My question is, in this fight, have you changed anything in your preparation, in your train?
We always, train extremely hard and push myself to the absolute limit. But so I wouldn't say that I've necessarily changed anything because I always give 110%. But what I will say is every fight, I don't take off because I believe that the in between the fights is when you come to a new level, physically and mentally. So I'm at a new level now because that's what we do. Every time we get done with a fight, we get right back in the gym and we continue to work. And I always put 100% mentally and physically inside the ring and outside the ring. I spend as much time thinking about the fight as I do training for the fight, and visualizing the fight. So I've done everything. No stone is unturned, and I'm definitely we've got another month, so we've got to keep burning for another month about, and so that's where we finish the job.
All right, thanks very much, Daniel. Our next question is going to come from Marcus Hayes with FightHype TV. Marcus, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Joey, Jesús, how you both doing?
Good, man, doing good.
I'm going to start off with Jesús. Jesús, I asked this to Joey Spencer a couple of days ago. We spoke about father-son duos, and he talked about how this fight wasn't just for him, that this fight was for his dad and all the work that his dad has put in up to this point. I know your dad also. Talk to us about the sacrifices that you've known that your father's made and how you want to make him proud on the 25th.
Yeah, man, he's made a lot of sacrifices, and I'm very proud of him as well, for everything everything he sacrificed for us to be here. With a point where he had to work and still come train us, and that was the only way that the gym would be afloat. If he was working now, thank God we're in a better position where he doesn't have to work. He's fully dedicated to what he loves. So I'm extremely proud of that. And this fight is what we dreamed of. These are the fights that we talked about. Even just fighting on Showtime is huge. Now at the MGM and as a co-main event, that's something big. And that I'm proud of ourselves for where we're at right now, and we still got a lot more work to do.
Getting a chance to fight a guy like Joey Spencer on this type of a stage, we've heard you both say it before, that guys don't really take this type of fight. What does this say about the young generation of fighters that are upcoming, the 21, 22, 23-year-olds that are starting to make their names known in boxing?
I mean, we're all hungry. I feel like this new generation, we all want to fight each other. I feel like, we saw it in the Frank Martin fight versus Micho Rivera. We're all fighting each other. We're all putting it on the line, and I think that's gonna bring boxing a lot of great fights, a lot of entertaining nights as well.
Definitely will. Thank you both guys, and hope you guys do well on 25th.
Thank you.
Right, thanks, Marcus. Our last question is going to come from Lucas Cattell with Inside the Ropes. Lucas, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Okay, real quick question for both of you guys. What does a win do for your legacy and kind of where you see yourself in the sport from this fight?
Joey, if you want to.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, kind of off the bat, I think that this is the start. I think that this is one of those fights. I think this is the first fight that people are going to really go back. I feel like we're both going to have long careers, and I feel like people are going to go back and watch this fight, as long as we fight. And they'll say, oh, Joey Spencer versus Jesús Ramos, and people watch this fight for a long time. So that's a big deal for me, and that's kind of what I want to do. Like, I want this fight to make a statement in the sport that does just that people care to go back and watch. I feel like that'd be a cool thing on a card like this for people to just really remember it. No matter, I'm 22, he's 21, and just kind of to be our coming out party where we fought, guys that maybe, are future world champions. Maybe we're world champ, and people are going back and watching Joey Spencer and Jesús Ramos. So, and we're young enough to where, who knows, there might be more than one fight going down the line between me and him. So I think that it's the start. I think it's the start of everything.
I feel the same way. I feel like who knows what happens March 25th. This could be the start of a rivalry, like Marquez versus Pacquiao. It's something big, and it's going to be entertaining. It's going to be entertaining. It's going to do a lot for our careers. I feel like this, like he said, this only catapults us to the next step. Where after this, the bigger fights start coming. We're more recognized at 154, and that's what we're both looking for. We're looking for to be a world champion. That's the main goal, and I think this fight puts us in a really good position to do so.
All right, great. Thank you to both Joey and Jesus for your time today, and to all the media that joined us. With that, I'll turn it back over to Ray to wrap things up for us.
All right. Thank you very much, Andrew. And I think it's fair to say that, we are going to be in Las Vegas, a gambling city, and both Jesus and Joey are going to be gambling and rolling the dice on their perfect records on Saturday, March 25th, in the co-main event of David Benavidez, Caleb Plant. Before we get ready to let you guys go, Joey, final thoughts as you prepare for your showdown against Jesus Ramos.
Yeah, you know what? I don't see any way this could not be an entertaining fight. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. I'm willing to go to the end of myself to get this win. And, I'm willing to die in there to get this done for my family. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. So I'm sure he feels the same way. There's no way this isn't an entertaining fight. So everybody just tune in. Obviously the main event is going to be incredible, and this is going to be no different. So, I've got one more month to kill myself in the gym, and before we come in there and we go to battle. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'll see you guys there.
All right, Joey, thank you so much. Jesus, final thoughts as we are just over a month away until you square off against Joey Spencer.
It's gonna be an exciting fight, man. I think we're gonna start a new wave, where prospects are gonna want to fight each other. This is it's gonna motivate younger fighters to fight each other. And like he said, I don't see this fight not being entertaining. We're gonna go at it. I don't want to lose my undefeated record, and I'm sure he doesn't either. So I'm gonna do everything to defend that. I'm gonna do everything to defend, everything that I worked for. I worked hard, and I've done a lot to get here, and I'm not ready to lose none of that. On the other hand, I want to keep going. I want to keep going forward. I want to be a world champion, and that's in arm's reach. Is if I get a win, over Joey Spencer, and that's the plan.
All right, thank you very much, guys. Greatly appreciate it. Good luck. We'll see you in Las Vegas.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, that'll do it for our pay-per-view undercard. David Benavidez, Caleb Plant. The undercard is absolutely sick. You're not going to want to miss this. We hope you will join us in Las Vegas the week of March 25th, Saturday night, on Showtime pay-per-view, presented by Premier Boxing Champions, promoted by TGB Promotions and Samson Boxing. Tickets are going quickly. AXS.com is where you get them, or you can sit in the comfort of your own home and watch on Showtime pay-per-view, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time, Saturday, March 25th. Have a great rest of your day, everybody, and we'll see you during Fight Week in Las Vegas. Take care.